Making the most of life and investment in Portugal, Portugal Pathways simplifies every step, from golden visa and relocation to citizenship and cross-border tax planning. Portugal Pathways are proud sponsors of the Portugal Diaries podcast. Welcome to the Portugal Diaries podcast. I'm Jen.
And I'm Claire.
Today on the Portugal Diaries, we're joined by Victor Yu, Chinese chef and founder of innovative new restaurant Yu Algarve.
Victor rose to culinary fame as the winner of Gordon Ramsay's Best Restaurant and has since built a reputation for traditional Chinese cuisine with a modern twist. With deep roots in the UK restaurant scene, Victor has now brought his creative flair to the Algarve, where Yu Algarve is redefining the region's fine dining landscape. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
This is very exciting. We get to talk about lovely food.
And it's lunchtime and we're hungry.
Yeah, actually, it's probably a bad time.
Yeah, probably.
So Victor, how did you get started?
1989, I think from little, I was brought up with my father in the industry. So I did my little bit at school, didn't really do that well. So then my father said, you know, you're not really going to go to college, are you? You're not going to go to uni. So I started from the bottom upwards, started doing pots.
So did he have a restaurant?
Then he had a little small takeaway.
Yeah.
And then in 1990, he went into a restaurant, but he's always had restaurants back in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So then when he came in 1990, we opened our first restaurant in Horwich. And this little restaurant in Horwich, my mum was on the front and my father was in the back. And he had two chefs. And then I was doing pots then. And then that's how it all started. But it was a really little place where we met a lot of our customers. So back in the day in Horwich, it was in a little side street. And you wouldn't know it unless you went to find it.
Okay.
And it was on 2 floors. So it was always downstairs had about 12 tables. And upstairs had another 12 tables. But if you were people always wanted to sit downstairs. And we used to have people like Peter Reid in the day, Ryan Giggs, all the Bolton players came in. And a lot of famous, even Fred Doe from Betfred, they all used to come to this little restaurant. And everybody was there. And it was amazing. We met a lot of people there, a lot of our customers there.
That's brilliant. And the fact that it's down a side street, it's kind of like if you know, you know.
It was
Yeah,
your
it
reputation.
was,
Yeah.
And it evolved that way, you know. I mean, then it was called U and U. So it was YU and YOU.
So it's about the customer.
Yeah, and you the customer, and that's how it was
that.
named. And then we've evolved and slowly we changed. But yeah, that's where I learned my trade from.
And so you started on pots.
I did.
So then your next step was
Chopping.
chopping.
Peeling onions.
Okay.
Everything
Prep.
that you don't like do. Prep. Lots of prep. I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated
And then
it.
what was the point where they said, okay, you can actually
Then in the
cook
Chinese
something?
kitchen, it went into frying.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then you go into, after that, it's woks. And then after the woks, you learn to do your roasting, which is with the ovens, the roast duck and char siu pork. So it's sort of a little bit different to how an English cook kitchen is really run.
Yeah.
It's a bit different.
Different stations.
Different stations, yeah.
But that's really good because you pretty much learn every part perfectly. Then you go on to the next one.
The harder bits.
Well, yeah, a lot more. Sort of.
So how
Hard
did
work.
so how did the Gordon Ramsay thing come about? Tell us about that.
It was a phone. It was really strange. I remember it very clear. I got a phone call from a company called One Potato, Two Potato, which is a production company, and they rang and said to the restaurant. And then we actually had moved to the Ribble Valley in Copster Green, and it was really our flagship restaurant. And they rang and said, "Oh, this is got a phone call. One Potato, Two Potato. Want to do this program? Would you be interested?" And I think my sister picked up the call and she said, yeah, we had this phone call. I went, yeah, whatever. And we put the phone down. I sort of thought it was a prank call. And then they rang again.
One potato, two potato.
Yeah.
I guess you would.
Yeah. So they rang again and said, no, we've got this. It's a Gordon Ramsay thing. It's Gordon Ramsay's best restaurant. You're going to be competing in the Chinese category. But they came down to do like some filming of interviewing us first. So it was very in stages before we got to actually being involved in the competition. So they came to film us, and then for months we were like being filmed, and it was surreal.
Was that like pressure though? Was it stressful, or did you kind of find it okay?
No, I found it was different, very different. So it was like we were competing against some, they've become friends of ours, Kai's in Mayfair in London, and they had a Michelin star. So it's a bit like the Goliath and is it the
David and Goliath.
That's it.
Yeah.
Similar to that, and we sort of they came to film us, and then they did a 30 customers at the restaurant at Copster all at once, so we had to cook there, and then the next stage was to cook at Hospital Road against Kai's. So then we're prepping in this prep kitchen in London, which is where they film Great British Menu.
Okay.
So we did all our prep there, and I've got this Michelin star chef from Kai's. He's a really nice guy. Him and Bernard are really nice people, and they were lovely. But he was like doing all this fancy stuff. I'm looking at him like, oh, right, okay. He's like got his jacket's got like names and badges. It's got like, so I'm like, oh, okay, fair. And my dad stood next to me and went, just do what we do. It's okay. Don't panic.
That's good. Yeah.
So it was that, and so when his dish was this like I think it was like it's like broccoli and this rice dish with sausage, Chinese sausage in it. It was a sirloin, piece of sirloin. It was absolutely very beautiful. It was presented absolutely wonderful. And mine was a Woxia Wagyu beef with soy and lime. And just steamed rice. So it was very simple, So
but you did
like
it well.
omelets,
Yeah.
and we did it well. So then we were filming at the final came to Hospital Road, and so you do your prep and you go and film at Gordon Ramsay's actual restaurant, and that was pressure. That was pressure. There were no wok burners.
So what did you do? How
It
did
was
you?
off their stoves.
So it's not
So I
the
looked at it
same.
and I'm
Yeah.
like,
How do we
"Where's
do
the wok
this?
burner?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took the middle of these hot stoves out, and it was just so warm. But they had to turn all the fans down, and he was shouting the meals away, and I was cooking, and my dad was behind helping me. And at the beginning, I had this moment, like I didn't know what I was like. I had just a freezing like, whoa.
Over my head
A
here.
bit like Top Gun, where he's heading out in a flat spin. And I was Goose trying to reach the ejection handle. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So I had that moment. I'm like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
And then anyway, he came up and he went, "You got your mother sat outside. Grab hold of the reins and get your shit together."
Your dad said this.
Did he say that?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon said it.
Okay.
Ah.
I think it's still on Prime Video.
On camera, him doing
That's
that.
very.
Yeah, and I was like,
Get your
"Ooh."
shit together.
So I'm like, yeah, all right, get your shit together. Yeah, and then the rest is history.
Brilliant. So do you think it just settled you? Just like
Yeah.
refocus. You needed that
refocus
to be
and
told.
And what
into
age
it.
were you at this point?
I think that was about 2010 it was.
Okay,
So
yeah.
15 years ago.
Wow.
Gosh,
So
a
what
lot of
happened
pressure.
from that? What happened next?
It sort of put the restaurant on the map.
Of course.
It put the restaurant on the map. It went crazy with the whole culinary experience with that. I think with someone, I've always had a lot of chefs friends, but it opened so many doors
Yeah.
in every element of the industry.
People want to work with you, work for
with
you.
and
Yeah.
we ended up doing all the food for development for Iceland for their Chinese range.
Wow.
We did it for Asda for their chill range. It opened so many doors.
Yeah, huge things you would never
Yeah.
get into
Yeah.
otherwise.
But more on a development side of stuff, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
For a culinary journey.
Getting
So
behind it.
how does this suddenly find you in Portugal, and why have you decided to set up the restaurant in the Algarve?
Portugal. So I've been coming to Portugal since my mum and dad came with us since we were probably about 15 years old, 16 years old.
To this area specifically? Yeah.
And we used to go to Villamora.
Okay.
And Villamora was still just very brand new. There was nothing else really around. And then I've always come backwards and forwards because my best friend Eddie, who's my partner at Yu Algarve.
Who we met earlier.
Yeah, we met earlier. He said to me, he went, I've always sort of like, love to have a place in the Algarve. I love it in the Algarve. But when you come on holiday, you see the sunshine, don't you? You see everything, like, oh, it'd be really good. And I do. I love the produce. I love the way the food is, the people. I've always had that strong connection.
Yeah.
And then Eddie said to me, he said, got a pal who's selling his restaurant. Do you fancy having a look at it? And I went, okay, let's have a look. And then we were on holiday with my wife, Jenny, and my little girl, Annabelle. And we went, I said, I'm just going to go for a bit of lunch the next day, and met Dave, who owned the restaurant at the time. And we had a bit of lunch. 3 hours later, a few bottles of wine. 4
Which
bottles
is
of
the
wine.
usual
All the
Portuguese
best
way.
bottles of
business
wine.
decisions.
I'm kicking Eddie under the table. You know, we're like both pretty drunk by this time. I got back to the hotel room and my wife, Jenny, went to me. My wife went, how did it go? I went, yeah, it was good. We've got a restaurant. Her exact words, you're fucking crazy. And that's how it started, yeah.
But Jenny loves Portugal too. I know
She loves
I've
Portugal,
met Jenny a couple of times.
Portugal, yeah.
So it's a good excuse for her to be back and
So
forward.
backwards and forwards, and hopefully, we can, spend a bit more time here.
I was going to say, because at the minute you are going back and forward.
We are, yeah, because of Annabelle's schooling.
Okay.
So maybe later on in a few more years.
Yeah, and how old's Annabelle now?
12.
Okay, so she's kind of in the thick of starting her GCSE stuff. Yeah. Well, in a few years you might be.
Got to find a good estate agent.
Well, and a good interior designer as well.
Well, exactly. You can find my wife, and she likes spending as well. So
we should come as a package. We never thought of that.
She's very fussy.
She's got high standards, Victor. I would take that as a compliment.
That's really good.
It's a Jenny thing. We're all about
it. Is a Jenny
definitely.
Thing.
And it's in a great location, the restaurant, isn't it?
Fantastic.
I think it's because it's kind of in the middle. Well, you've got so many amazing restaurants in Almancil now. Obviously, you've got the fabulous ones down in Quinta del Lago, Valdelobo, and you are literally right in between the two. So I just feel like as a location, it's just perfect.
It's good. We are very lucky on that sense. I didn't think the location was as good when we first saw it, but once I saw it and when I went to view it, I walked. The thing that sold it me, you will laugh at this, wasn't the exterior, wasn't all the decking. When I walked into the kitchen, gave me goosebumps. Like, I like this kitchen. Yeah, that's what sold it me. The actual kitchen.
Okay.
Because the kitchen in the Algarve in here, there's no wok burner. We don't have wok burners. So the whole menu is I brought with me now to the team is Chef Bruno, he's amazing. I've known him for like 10 to 15 years, but his culinary skills is very quickly, he's very humble, but he's won American Express Young Chef of the Year. He's done Glen Eagles. He's got a star at the Sandling. He's done it all, and he knew how that kitchen would work, because the kitchen in the restaurant now is a very Western kitchen. So to create to do our Chinese dishes you have to work backwards a little bit. So the challenge of that was quite good than just having wok burners. Because it gives us a bigger scope to elevate our.
And so you haven't installed wok burners here, and you don't plan to?
Not at the moment. No.
Okay.
But you're working very well with what you've got.
Yes. Yeah.
It's all going very well. I've been a couple of times already and been really impressed. So for anyone that hasn't been, how would you describe the concept?
We're Cantonese food, which is from Hong Kong.
Okay.
Everything we do is, I like to say, like, you've got your old favourites, like your sweet and sour chicken, and you've got my dad's famous curry on there, but equally you've got, on the new menu that's coming, we've got the champagne miso black cod, and we've got a char siu belly pork, which is very different here, which is brined for 12 hours in aromats, and then it's slow cooked at 70 degrees for another 12 hours.
Wow.
So everything we do here is very different, and you've still got the chicken bamboo. So I would like to say, when I go to Chinese restaurants, and my wife's taken me to a few around the area, and they're not really, like, I would say, Chinese at the level that I see Chinese food for myself.
Yeah.
And I've been to a few around here. I'm not going to name any. and they're not made. They don't make it all themselves. So no. I think that's the biggest difference. You're not going to get a gloopy end product.
Yeah.
It's fresh.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
It's homemade.
And the seafood is amazing. So, if I always say, if you cook and keep it simple, fresh produce, and just know how to execute it.
Have you been inspired by some of the produce here? Is there anything you find yourself cooking that maybe you wouldn't do back home? Yeah.
That's coming on the menu.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's going to be done in a master stock. There's going to be a sharing tomahawk coming on.
Oh, wow. I think that would be very popular.
Incredible. And that will be really popular here, actually.
Japanese barbecue.
That sounds...
We've got this massive Japanese... I don't know how we're going to turn that on in the kitchen. But
I was going to say, lots of aircon.
And that's going to be done with served with a Sichuan pepper. Corn sauce, and also it will have a master stock butter. A master stock is our aromatic stock that we have, that is near enough 8 years old.
Wow.
I was going to say,
And
is
we
that
cook-
something you created? Or
Yeah,
is it
so the master stock is 8 years old, so we brought that over
from Hong Kong?
from
the
the
UK.
UK.
And that master stock, you keep adding to it. There are master stocks in Hong Kong that are 50 years old.
Wow.
And you keep adding to it. So then when we cook our aromatic duck in it, that's what we do. But then what we do is when we pass it and get just the very clear master stock sauce, and then we use that to make it into a master stock butter.
That is so incredible. This is blowing my mind, really.
So then we
because
will
I'm
put that
not
over
very
your
good at
tomahawk
cooking.
and then melt that with one of the Japanese coals over the top.
So it's a real kind of palate.
Yeah.
You know, when people come and eat at your restaurant, they're getting a real tasting
Yeah,
experience
we
because
still
it's
do
done
the black
from the
bean
heart.
sauce.
Yeah.
It's old favourites, and we
Yeah.
cater for children as well, you know. So it's all good. But I think what I've found here is that the palate of the customers here are very international.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
are very international
Yeah.
customers, and they know their
Yeah.
food.
They know good
And they
food,
have
yeah.
expectations
Yes,
as well.
and I think that's the big difference.
I think for
Yeah.
service as well, there's a
Yeah.
certain level of expectation, and you meet that very well. So
And do you create the menu yourself, or do you have you said you have your other chef, Bruno, did you say Bruno?
Yeah, so Bruno is in charge of our now. He's our group chef, director for all the. Well, I'll mention that later, but for the restaurants. But equally, we do that together.
Okay.
So then I'll come up with an idea, and he always tells me off there, do you write that recipe down? I went, but I use my ladle. I use one Chinese one ladle and one tablespoon. For fuck's sake, just write it down, measure it out on the scales. I went, well, it's just a ladle. So we work well. It's
So
a bit like
you're-
yin and yang.
I love
Yeah.
So you're creative, just doing it as you go, whatever
Yeah.
feels right in the
Well,
moment. And
So like for example, the char siu marinade, which is 30, 40 years old, and the curry that we make over 2 days, which is same, my father, there's nothing weighed out. It's all like hand and ladle.
That's incredible.
And it's ladle, so many of this, and by the time you mix it, you've got to look at it and see what
Is
the
it right?
consistency is right. So it's
Yeah.
a very hand-eye,
yeah,
our style, where
Yeah.
rightly so, Chef Bruno has to be very measured and weighed
Yeah.
out. So that the both of us meet quite well in the middle,
And it does
very well in the middle.
Yeah. Oh,
actually.
that's good to know that it works well in the middle. It could go the opposite way, couldn't it? Really, where it could be like, oh, I don't get it because I work like this. No, I work like
but I
that.
think
So-
when you're trying to bring a business from one country to another, and you cannot physically be in two places at once doing
Yeah.
these things in both places, that you need to then be a bit more prescriptive and have
Yes, of course you
a
do.
more
Yeah.
detailed
Yeah.
plan of how it operates in your absence and how to cook some of these secret recipes.
We're doing all right at the moment.
You're doing very
the
well.
team are doing me proud.
yeah.
And do you reference your mum and dad? Obviously, that was whose restaurant you worked in, working your way up. Are they still around? Do you still?
They're retired now.
Okay.
They're retired. They've been retired a while now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep keep telling my mum we've got a restaurant in Portugal because she's got like short-term dementia.
Okay.
So which is quite funny, and I ring her every day. Where are you?
Tell her
Where are
again.
you, son? I went, I'm in Portugal. Oh, you gone on holiday? I went, no, I'm open a restaurant. When do you open a restaurant? I went, okay, I told you that about 4 weeks ago. But she's really funny, but she's good. She's good.
Oh, but they must be super proud. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how
I
far it's
videoed it
gone.
from, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so lovely. Yeah.
That's
Small
so,
steps.
so
at the
good.
moment.
And how has it been setting up a business here? So hiring staff, navigating all of the
Yeah.
Challenging?
okay.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, well, yes.
Challenging.
What's been the most challenging part?
Staff.
Finding the right staff.
The right caliber of staff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's been your solution
Well,
to that?
I think I always go off, if you pay peanuts, a customer once told me, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, don't you?
yeah.
So true.
So I'm not, me and Eddie are always saying, get the right staff. Pay to get the best staff.
Yeah.
And it'll look after itself.
I guess it must be quite hard to poach good people away from other places or encourage them when you're a brand new startup business. They don't. It'll come that they'll want to work for you.
I found it harder to employ people when we were trying to open than when we are open.
Yeah, because they can come in, they can see how
they
lovely
can see
it
how
is.
it operates and what caliber. I think it was very hard to describe I knew in my mind what that restaurant wanted to was going to be.
Your vision.
I knew what the food was going to be. I knew in my mind the caliber of customers we already have in the UK who have houses here.
Yeah.
But trying to sometimes explain that to people who work for you, they don't see Chinese as high end, if that makes sense.
No. But they get it now. That
we're getting there now. Yeah, there's a lot of shouting.
And how would you, a lot of shouting, I like that. So how would you, if somebody else was trying to start up, what you're creating over here, what advice would you give them?
I was lucky because I had Eddie here.
Yeah.
But I would say seek, find someone who lives here.
Yeah.
Who is already instilled on the ground here, and who knows the area and who is living and breathing it.
Yeah.
And then look at it, expanding it that way.
Yeah.
I guess even just from a practical point of view of setting it up and getting the restaurant to where it needed to be, just to know where to go to get things and where to.
Yeah, it's been massive. I think without Eddie, we wouldn't have got to this stage. He did the introduction to Dave. He found the site, and he knows so many people. If it were just me, I think you'd be hitting wall after wall.
Well, I think it would take much longer because it's like navigating that, like you say. And a lot here I find is once you know somebody who can connect you with that person, who then connects you with that person, so much more free flowing. It seems to work like that.
Has there been anything that surprised you in a positive way, and where you thought, that was easier or better than I thought it was going to be? The produce? Has that surprised you? Yeah.
The fish markets.
Do you like them?
Unbelievable.
Really?
Like Christmas every day. And the fruit. I go to Aldi and I go, look at the fruit at Aldi.
You've said this exactly.
I can't believe the fruit at Aldi.
And do you know what? I always say this, and I've talked about it loads on the podcast. The fruit goes off here. Like your fruit, your vegetables, everything, your bread even goes off because it's not filled with a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
So, and I like that because I feel like we buy that, we eat it, and then we go buy more. We don't have something that's sat in the fridge for like 2 weeks
and still looks the same.
Do you know? Yeah.
But the fish is just.
And which market do you go to then? Do you go to Lole?
Yeah, at Quartera, is it?
Oh,
Quartera down there.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Yeah. Great fish market. It's just so fresh.
Yeah.
It reminds me back in the day when I used to go to the markets in Manchester at Smithfield Market with my dad when I was little, but they was like, you see all the fishmongers there in the stores. Unfortunately, that's died off now a lot in the UK, and you get deliveries. You don't actually see the produce. Where here you can pick the whole fish.
Yeah. Walk in and feel inspired by something you want to cook with and have a special.
Going back to the base. And do you ever, is it seasonal with fish, or is it just pretty much year round?
I think everything's seasonal, isn't it? It has to be.
Yeah.
But what he gives you is that the quality of the fish.
Yeah.
Like the bass, the sea bream, the turbot, even your monkfish. And you get your monkfish cheeks. Have you seen that? Monkfish cheeks. It's amazing.
I love the monkfish. It's really chunky fish. I really like it.
Yeah, no, I do like monkfish. So we've talked quite a bit about the restaurant, the new restaurant in the Algarve, but what else? I know you've got some other projects going on back in the UK. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so in the UK, we are in August launching Choi Wan, which is named after my little girl's Chinese name. And that's in a House of Socials, which is on First Street in Manchester City Centre.
Okay.
It is a concept of a 600-seater, like Ocean Markets food dining experience, high end. Okay. It's got DJs, private dining rooms. We are one of 5 operators in there. So there is us, which is of course Chinese street food. There's a pizza, there's an Indian, and there's a burger as well. And that project is going to be busy. It opens end of August.
Yeah.
And then there's one in Glasgow that's just been passed for 12 months. Another House of Socials, and then there's one in Birmingham and Madrid.
So you're going to be busy.
Yeah, you're going to be super busy.
Yeah, we're going to be super busy, yeah.
What about the impact on your family with that? Has it been hard being away from Annabelle and from Jenny?
Yes, it's not, it's hard to leave them both. But she's good. Annabelle and Jenny are really good. My wife's very strong. Yeah. That's why I'm successful. Yeah.
Well, they say there's always a good woman behind.
That's true, yeah. I think without her support and being and it's very difficult being in a relationship. Marrying someone in hospitality is very difficult. It's a bit like marrying somebody in the army or marrying but luckily my wife's father-in-law was a pilot. So she was very used to the 3 weeks on and 3 weeks off, which is a bit of a godsend, you know. So she completely gets it and completely supportive. But she said it's a bit too warm. I'm not going to come out.
Oh, really?
She's going to Dublin actually.
Oh my goodness! I don't know
for
anybody
summer.
who chooses.
Days, So it's a bit too warm.
And so, how long are your stints over here? At
the moment, I do it within that pro rolling 90 days.
Oh yes, of course.
With my business visa is still ongoing.
Yeah.
So.
And for Annabelle, would you like her to do what you did, as in start kind of through your restaurants, or does she have visions of doing that?
She loves bakery.
Oh, really?
She loves baking. So she loved bakery. Then yeah, she loves baking.
Yeah.
She's really good. She's got her own pink KitchenAid that she has. And
Love that.
She's a big baker. She loves baking. So yeah, if she wanted to do, I would know.
You would support her.
I would support her.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I would want her to do it.
Yeah.
Full time. It's relentless, isn't it?
It's hard, I imagine. It's hard.
But good money in pastry now.
Yeah.
Well, really good money in pastry. And actually over here she could learn a lot about pastry. There's some really good pastry over
Good
here.
money in pastry now.
So yeah. I'm like a bit partial to my pastry. I never was before. Suddenly I am.
There's definitely a bit of a gap in the market. I drive to Lollet every time I need a birthday cake. I find an amazing bakery up there, but down here, I don't think we've been there. But yeah, no, it's my favourite place for cake.
Yeah. You need to tell me
but
about
yeah,
that.
There's a place in near us called Slattery's. Have you heard of it? They make the most amazing cakes.
no, okay.
Absolutely amazing cakes.
There's just a place in Lollet that's just opened called Cinnaroma, and they make all different flavoured cinnamon buns. And they've got like Biscoff flavour, pistachio flavour, Nutella flavour. It's literally
Don't tell me where it is.
calorific dream, but it's incredible. So I'll let you know where that is because that's all it is. And people just go for these cinnamon buns. They're all out in front of you.
Well, we were saying this, like we were saying that, if we ever did another restaurant in the Algarve, because we have that capacity now with Chef Bruno on board, is to do dead simple steak and frites and lobster. That's it, 2 things.
Yeah. Like surf
French,
and turf,
like-
that is kind of for
That's
me.
it. But do on a Japanese barbecue and
Oh,
put the
okay.
Japanese twist to it.
That would be amazing. I think that would go
Like,
down
like
so
yuzu,
well here,
put the
don't
yuzu
you?
into it, and that's it.
Yeah. And do you
So
think
hit it
that's
with
something
Japanese
that could be on the horizon?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Heard it here first, everybody. Heard it here first.
But I think now you've got
be.
your base, you're getting established. You've got
Could be.
your
Something
team on board.
Looking at in the UK
Yeah,
as well.
and would you have it in this area, or would you venture further afield, Lisbon, Porto, another part of Portugal?
I don't know, but I would love to be around this area. I don't think I would go all the way up to Lisbon and
Yeah,
Porto.
I think it would do well.
Back down
And
here.
also, you're then stretching yourself even further, aren't you, really? Because then if you got here, then you got Lisbon, then you've got the UK, and sometimes it's kind of
I don't
like,
want to overstretch myself.
Yeah.
My main concentration will always be on the restaurants, because that's what my father started.
Yeah.
And that's a legacy of now what we can, with the new Yu Algarve, and really to push the boundaries of that for here and back home. But yeah, I said this the other day. I said it'd be great to have a barbecue doing the Japanese.
Yeah, that would be very
That would
cool.
be phenomenal. And would you reach out to Gordon and get him over to Yu Algarve?
We have. But he's a little bit busy actually. But we have got a couple of my chef friends coming over in later on in the year to do
cool.
chef nights here.
That's
Brilliant.
very cool.
So we've got Tommy Parker. He's held the star for 7 years. He's a very good pal of mine. Nigel Howarth. He won Great British Menu.
Excellent.
Oh, okay.
He was famous for his Lancashire hot pot.
Wow, okay.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And then you've got so we've got quite a
So
few.
they're going to come over.
Yeah,
That's
got
very
quite a few and
good.
see who we-
It's good for people who live here all year round to then
Yeah.
have another reason to go. I mean, of course, you'll have your regulars that will start to come, frequently, but to have, an excuse for like even a midweek to,
We did one last month with Tommy at Copster back up the UK. We call it the tour of the Far East. So we each do a dish
That's
of a country of the Far East, and he always does the desserts because he knows I'm rubbish at desserts. So I make him do the desserts, and he always says to me, "Guess I'm doing the fucking desserts again." But he always puts about
Know your
15
place.
elements and use liquid nitrogen on it, and it's just he's funny. It's good.
It
It's
sounds
good.
exciting though.
that's
Oh,
good.
well,
It'd be
we
good
and
to come
strength.
over, yeah.
definitely wish you all the
September.
best.
Yeah, I do, and I'm definitely coming to the restaurant for sure.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
you need
get
to try
home
the
and
tasting
say-
menu. It's phenomenal. I just
Yeah.
think it's great because you get to try everything once. And
Yeah, I'm definitely coming. I'm gonna book in, that's for sure. So we're gonna go on to our quick fire questions. For
Yeah.
you
Okay.
now.
I'm going to kick off
Yeah,
with
go
your
on then.
favorite
Okay.
ingredient to cook with.
Favorite ingredient to cook with? Oh, ingredient to cook with.
Can be.
Aubergine.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Love that.
Okay, if you were going to impress guests, which is the best Chinese dish to impress your guests?
Best Chinese dish. The Wagyu beef.
Oh.
Oh, I haven't had lunch. You're making me so
The
hungry.
Wagyu beef with the soy lamb, definitely. The Gordon Ramsay dish.
That sounds incredible. I need to try that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finish up with one thing still on your bucket list. So something you've still to accomplish or somewhere that you've still to visit or...
My bucket list. Oh, my bucket list.
It can be a travel goal. It can be a work goal. It can be a family goal or...
Bucket list. What I wanted to. There's a very famous three-star Japanese in Tokyo that's run by a 92-year-old man. You can't book in. It's first come, first serve. And once he's done, he's done. And I think he's refused people like Obama and everybody.
Wow.
So yeah,
Goodness,
if I could ever
if
go
you
there,
could
that
go
would
there.
You want to go to his restaurant.
his restaurant, yeah. But he's getting on a bit into it.
You need to go soon.
Need him to listen to this. Get him on the
Absolutely.
the podcast.
So just to taste the food and, see what the hype's about. And
Well, he's just, that's it. He does.
Take
Only
inspiration.
he serves you, and that's it. And you can't eat the sushi with your chopsticks. You eat it with your hands.
Wow, okay.
And you don't season it with anything else. He's done it all, and that's it. It's like 15 tasting
And
pieces,
that's
and you're
it.
done.
That's it.
I love that.
Quite
And
far
then-
to go into it.
It is okay
Yeah, that would be
for lunch or
fantastic.
dinner.
I don't know if my wife might take me.
That's it if she's listening.
Probably will.
And then finally, because obviously we're talking about Portugal.
Yeah.
Here in Portugal, are you beach or countryside?
Beach.
Beach. Fabulous. Oh, you've been such a great guest. This
you.
is so interesting learning about it, and I can't wait to come to your restaurant,
Thank you.
which is actually like super close to this
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah, it is.
But
I
I
think
think it's only a stone's throw.
You're so brave. There's so many people
Yeah.
back home in the UK thinking it would be incredible to, start up a business in a new country. And I think very few people actually take that leap. And you've
Thank you.
just been so
It's
inspirational.
just
I
really,
think.
it's so inspiring. It's just fantastic. So Annabelle should be like really proud of her dad.
I'm
Oh.
sure she is.
She likes coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Thank
on.
you,
No,
Victor.
thank you very much for having me.
It's been lovely
Hope
to have
see
you
soon.
on.
Thanks.
And if you want to find us on our socials, we are at Portugal Diaries podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate and review on YouTube, Spotify and Apple. And follow us on our Instagram and we'd love to see you there.
Thank you.
Thanks.